Hello everyone. In this session we are going to see Introduction to Pharmaceutical Analysis. It is one of the branch of pharmaceutical chemistry. Now, as the name suggests, analysis. Analysis means to find out, or you can say to test. Hence, basically pharmaceutical analysis is associated with identification, testing and analyzing pharmaceuticals. Thus, pharmaceutical analysis is a branch of practical chemistry that involves a series of processes. It involves various procedures like identification, determination, quantification and purification of a substance. It may also involve separation of components of a solution or mixture. Here, the substance under the study or test may be a single compound or a mixture of compound, and it may be any of the dosage form like tablet, capsule, syrup, suspension, any dosage form. The substances used as pharmaceuticals may be from various origins like synthetic origin, animal origin, plant origin, microbial or mineral sources. Now pharmaceutical analysis can be divided into basically qualitative analysis and quantitative analysis. So qualitative analysis, as the name suggests, to determine quality means to find out what is present. Hence qualitative analysis is to identify composition of the natural or synthetic substances. These tests are performed to indicate whether the substance or compound is present in the sample or not. Various qualitative tests are detection of evolved gases, formation of precipitates, limit test, color change reactions, melting point and boiling point test, etc. Quantitative analysis means to find out the quantity, that is how much is present. Thus it is mainly used to quantify any compound or substance in the sample. It is based on quantitative performance of suitable chemical reaction. Here either you can measure the amount of reagent added to complete the reaction, or measure the amount of reaction product obtained, and also you can measure some of the spectroscopic properties of the compound. Spectroscopic properties, they are related with how the compound interacts with the various frequencies of light or various wavelength of light. Let us now see the scope, or you can say application of the pharmaceutical analysis. So with help of pharmaceutical analysis, you can identify the drug in the formulated compound. Active ingredient or impurities may be determined. It helps to study the stability of the drugs and hence to determine the shelf life, or you can say expiry dates of the drugs. Concentration of drugs in plasma and biological fluid can be measured. It is also used to determine the pKa values, that is dissociation constants, then partition coefficients, solubilities and some other properties. Now let us see the various methods of analysis. So first are classical methods. These are the methods which are based on chemical analysis. So first is titrimetric analysis. Titrimetric analysis are also known as volumetric analysis. Now in titration, the substance to be determined is allowed to react with an appropriate reagent added as a standard solution, and the volume of solution needed for completion on reaction is determined. So you have already performed titrations in 12th. Here two reagents are involved. One is titrate and another is titrant. So the volume of the titrant required to neutralize the titrate is measured. If the sample is acid or base, it can be analyzed with help of neutralization titrations. If the samples are heavy metals, it can be determined with help of complexometric titrations. Not only heavy metals but the metals which are able to form complexes like calcium, magnesium, sodium, they can be determined with help of complexometric titrations. Precipitation titrations are used to analyze the substances which are capable of forming salts, and redox titrations, they are used to determine the substances which can undergo reduction oxidation reactions. So these are the titrations. Next is gravimetric analysis. Here the substance under determination is converted into an insoluble precipitate which is then collected and weighed. Thus you can find out the quantity of the substance. Titrometric and gravimetric, these are chemical methods of analysis. Next are electrical methods of analysis. These involve the measurement of various electrical properties like current, voltage or resistance in relation to concentration of a certain species in a solution. First is voltammetry. Here the measurement of current at a microelectrode at a specified voltage is done. Coulometry. It involves measurement of current and time needed to complete an electrochemical reaction. Conductometry. It is the measurement of electrical conductivity of a solution. Potentiometry. It is the measurement of potential of an electrode in equilibrium with an ion to be determined. So there are two electrodes, reference and indicator electrodes. Next is optical methods of analysis. These are based on the property of the substance to interact with light. First is absorption of radiation. Here the measurement of amount of radiant energy of a particular wavelength absorbed by the sample. That is, it involves the measurement of amount of radiant energy of a particular wavelength which is absorbed by the sample. Various methods are based on this method, that is visible spectrophotometry, UV spectrophotometry, IR spectrophotometry and atomic absorption spectroscopy. Here you can see the wavelengths, that is ultraviolet radiation, it is from 100 to 400 nanometer, visible radiation from 400 to 800 nanometer, and above that infrared radiations. So based on which wavelength our sample absorbs, we can apply methods based on that. For example, if the sample absorbs between 200 to 300 nanometer, then we can analyze with help of UV spectroscopy. If the sample absorbs radiation between 400 to 800 nanometer, say 700 nanometer, then it can be analyzed with help of visible spectroscopy. And similarly, if it absorbs the radiation above 800 nanometer, for example, say 1500 nanometer, it can be analyzed with help of infrared spectroscopy. Next is emission of radiation. Here the sample is first subjected to heat or electrical treatment so that the atoms are raised to excited states. Now when the atoms are raised to excited states, it causes them to emit energy, and intensity of this emitted energy is measured. Two methods are flame photometry and fluorimetry. Next property is rotation of radiation. The substances have capacity to rotate the radiation of light. The method is polarimetry. Next is scattering of radiation. In scattering of radiation, two methods are involved, turbidimetry and nephelometry. There are some miscellaneous methods. First is chromatography. It is basically the separation method. Here the separation of mixture is based on differential partitioning between the mobile and stationary phases. LC, that is liquid chromatography. Under this there are HPLC and UPLC, that is high performance liquid chromatography and ultra performance liquid chromatography. TLC is thin layer chromatography. Its advanced version is HPTLC, that is high performance thin layer chromatography, and GC is gas chromatography. Next is radioactivity. Here the emission of ionizing radiation or particles caused by the spontaneous disintegration of atomic nuclei are measured. Kinetic methods. Here chemical analysis is based on the relationship between the reaction rate and concentration of reactants. Next is mass spectrometry. It is an analytical technique that measures the mass to charge ratio of the ions. Thermal methods of analysis. It involves TGA, that is thermogravimetric analysis, DTA, differential thermal analysis, and DSC, that is differential scanning calorimetry. Next is NMR, that is nuclear magnetic resonance, and XRD, that is X-ray diffraction spectroscopy. What are advantages of chemical methods? Chemical methods which we had seen, that is titration and gravimetric analysis. Here the procedure are accurate and simple, cheap equipments are needed, and no specialized training is required to carry out these procedures. But its disadvantages are the chemical environment has to be maintained very carefully. It has lack of accuracy. Also the accuracy decreases with decreasing amount. It is time consuming and it has lack of specificity. Let us now see the advantages of instrumental method. Here small samples can be used, high sensitivity can be obtained, the results are quite reliable, it is fast, and complex samples can be handled easily. Disadvantages of instrumental methods. Here the initial or continuous calibration of the equipments is required. Cost of equipments is very high. Specialized training is required. The space occupied by the equipment is a bit high, so sizable space is required. Concentration range is limited, that is you can work in limited concentration range. So this was about introduction to pharmaceutical analysis. We had seen its definition, qualitative analysis, quantitative analysis, its scope or you can say applications, and in brief various methods of analysis. Thank you.